All right, guys. So I'm gonna show you a complete application built with ChatGPT API all the way from scratch. I do want to highlight that this example I have not tested yet. Okay, I just want to start from brand new workspace, brand new prompt, and without any preparation on coding. Although I do know the flow, what we need to do, how we're gonna do that step by step, but there will be bumpers. Okay, there will be bugs, but I do want you to see the raw process of how to get an idea done from 0 to 1. And the goal is to hopefully you can see this kind of thing is not going to be that intimidating. Okay, let's dive into the application demo. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to build you a complete application with front and back end that uses ChatGPT API as a kind of AI engine to support certain kind of functionality. So these are the things you need to follow. So first of all, we need to decide the project idea, what kind of problem we're trying to solve, make sure it's useful. And then, we are going to look at how do we use a prompt to solve that problem. And we're going to play around with the prompts, see which one was the best. And then we want to make sure, we eventually get a very polished version. Now, once we are okay with solving that problem in the prompt, so we want to build an application, and we don't want a user to go to the prompt to type things. So we are going to use ChatGPT API. Hopefully, you already got some background on this. And then once you test it out with ChatGPT API, it does the exact thing you want, and then we're going to build the application. So we need both backend and front end. The backend uses a ChatGPT API, and front end we can build a mobile, build a web, and then eventually we use the front end to talk to the backend, finish the application. All right, so let's start and get into actions. So the problem I'm picking is something very common, that how do we schedule our daily work, what to do, what to finish. And then I do want to apply this Pomodoro technique. Some of you are probably very familiar with this. So when you have a lot of things to do, that takes a lot of time, instead of just keep doing that one by one until finish, you might want to have some good, split and time slot to work on this step by step, and also have like 5 minutes break. So every 25 minutes working, and then you break it down into 5 minutes, the rest, and then you continue to the next cycle. Smaller cycles to make your task more efficient, right? So in this case, the question or problem is that if I gave you a list of tasks to do, I gave you the estimated time it may take. Now, please generate the most optimized Pomodoro-based schedule to finish the task, including all this, the rest time. So that way it can generate the whole schedule. Okay, so that's kind of the problem. And then first of all, let's actually play around with the prompt. Okay, so I'm gonna go to ChatGPT, all right? And this time I'm gonna start from the ChatGPT 3, okay, because I don't think this is a very difficult task. Let's try with 3, it's free. Later on, when you use the API, you can also use the 3.5. Okay, so let's actually try to design this prompt. I haven't really tried this yet, okay? And but I'm gonna go to try to make this pattern as good as we can. Okay, so something like this. Okay, so we're gonna use the persona pattern. Please act as a student, advisor, and scheduler. I will provide a list of the tasks to finish, and each task has the name of the task and the estimated amount of time to finish, in minutes. Please opt to generate and optimize Pomodoro-based schedule to help finish the tasks. Okay, so let's just see how that's going to work. Okay, this is not a perfect prompt, but let's see what they can do. All right, so I need to finish the following things. Okay, So one, math 101, homework, probably takes about 60 minutes. Two, lead code practice. That one is I'm gonna spend, again, another 60 minutes on this. I need some work, like exercises. Okay, so I'll do some soccer. And this one, I want to spend enough time, maybe 90 minutes. And then I do need to do my cooked dinner. That one probably takes about like 20 minutes. And then we will also need to do some other work. Okay, I'll need to write a research paper. That one will take about 45 minutes. And then other things I needed to maybe call my parents. That one takes about 15 minutes. All right, so what other things? So we will also need to do, let's put some more work. Okay, so the work will be, take online course on AI, and that course is going to take another 45 minutes. Okay, so let's start with the 7 tasks. Let's see. And also I probably need to give the time. So I will start working on this after school from 3 p.m. All right, so let's see what they can generate. Perfect, as you can see, so they start to break it down here. So from 3 to 3:25, math homework and a short break, and we do the lead code, short break, and the soccer, short break, and cook dinner, short break, and write research paper, short break, call parents, short break. Okay, but now as you can see, I do see there's some problem because soccer is supposed to take 60 minutes or 90 minutes, but they actually didn't really finish that. Okay, so I guess there's something wrong with the prompt. Okay, so if certain things you cannot split them, and you shouldn't split them. So you only split them with a Pomodoro, like for the math homework. Okay, so even for the math homework, it only do it for 25 minutes, but we need to continue that. So let's actually modify this one. Okay, we're gonna say this. All right, so when you design the schedule, please make sure that if certain tasks cannot be finished within 25 minutes, you will need to split it and schedule another session to finish until based on the given estimated time to finish it. If certain things are not working, such as exercises, social, you do not need to use Pomodoro breaks. Just finish the whole tasks without breaks. Let's try this again. All right, let's see. So math, so 60 minutes, lead code, practice 60 minutes. And now this time it actually doesn't use the Pomodoro at all. Okay, so as you can see, this is why I mentioned earlier that with a prompt, you will need to do a lot of iteration. This is totally fine. Okay, in many cases, you just cannot really expect the ChatGPT can give you always a perfect answer. It just works as an assistant. Okay, let's just keep trying this one. And there might be something we missed. Okay, so maybe in this case, they, I don't know if they probably didn't think any of these are working. Okay, so let's just keep trying. Okay, All right, so maybe I will need to give a very specific instructions. Okay. So here, let me rewrite this one. Here I need to finish the following tasks with the estimated time to finish. Okay, let's write this carefully. And this is 1, and this is 2. So it's easier for us to, you know, to modify this. 5, 6, 7. That's it. And then I will start working on this after school from 3 p.m. Okay, and then maybe let me actually also include that initial thing here. Okay. Okay, so maybe I will put it right here in the top. Okay, so please act as a student advisor and scheduler, and I will provide the list of tasks to finish. Each task has a name and task and estimated amount of time to finish. Please help to generate optimized Pomodoro-based schedule to finish all the tasks. I'll just get more clear, okay? The Pomodoro schedule should be based on a 25 minutes working session followed by a 5 minutes break session. And okay, let me put this one here. So when you design a schedule, please make sure if certain tasks cannot be finished within 25 minutes, you need to split it and then schedule another session, schedule more sessions to finish based on a given assignment time. If certain things are not working, such as exercises, social, you do not need to use Pomodoro breaks. Just finish the whole thing without breaks. Okay. Okay, well, this is a much more detailed prompt. Let's see how this one works. I'm gonna hit enter. All right, so let's check this one. And yeah, so we got a math 101 and short break, and then lead code short break, soccer short break. And then the good thing is, let's see if soccer, yeah, this time soccer, see, it says no break for exercises. And cook dinner, no problem, the breaks, write research paper, and yeah, so correct parents, okay. So this is a good, okay. Let me try to iterate it, okay. This is a good start, but the math 101 homework should take 60 minutes to finish, but you only gave 125 minutes session, which is not enough. And please regenerate the schedule. Okay, now as you can see, they know exactly what to do. They actually know to break this down. Okay, but then so for some reason that the initial thing they generated isn't actually good enough for this. Okay, so maybe let's actually change more things based on this one. Okay. Please, once you generate the schedule, please make sure the total amount of working session time is allocated for each task is the same as the given estimated time to finish as listed above. Okay, and yeah, let's see if that helps. All right. All right, so this time it's a lot better. Okay, Math 101, there are 2 sessions. Okay, so that 25 minutes, and you got a lead code, 25 minutes, another lead code, 25 minutes. Soccer, no break, quick dinner, no break, write research paper, second session, and then call parents, take online courses. Yep, so that's a complete schedule. So very good. Okay, so this is getting better. So it's actually very typical that some of the problem is not perfect. Okay, so we just need to keep trying and see which one actually works best, right? So, and then yeah, let's some other things we can even try is instead of using the order like this, we can also shuffle the order, right? So let me try this again. I would say that um another note is that you do not need to follow the same order to schedule the tasks as I provided, as I will be providing. You should rearrange the order of the tasks based on the type of the task in order to ensure a more efficient and effective scheduling. All right, so let's try and see how this one works. So I generate this again. All right, so they start from lead code 1, 2, math 1, 2, and then we do soccer. After soccer, cook dinner, write research paper, call parents, and finally take an online course. All right, yeah, pretty good. It helps us to, to kind of generate, something for a day. I'm gonna save this copy for the one version, okay? And this is actually pretty important. I'll put it here, all right? And then let's just do a quick test in a way if I have other tasks to finish. All right, so I maybe have, let's see, I have an interview. Okay, so today's dinner, I have a tech mock interview. That's gonna be like 45 minutes. And this one honestly should not be split. Let's see if they will split it. Maybe we have something else. We have what are the things we need to do? We need to have a club meeting. Okay, that's for another 60 minutes. Okay, and then we have other work that movie time. Another like that's 90 minutes. And then we're gonna not do the soccer. So we'll have mobile app development. Okay, so that's 90 minutes. All right, so just make some changes. Let's see what happens. All right, we do the app first, app second, and then mock interview, well, they display them, and then math homework, legal practice, club meeting, no breaks, and movie, no breaks. Okay, not bad. Okay, there are certain things we need to adjust it, but since this is mock interview, I think it also makes sense that if you add a break. So for those kind of things, you can definitely give more details with certain tasks. You can split certain tasks, you cannot split. All right, so yeah, so that's pretty much the how the problem works. Okay, so let's just do things based on this. Okay, so the next thing we need to work on is try to use all of this through the coding, because if we want to build an application, you will need to use the ChatGPT API. Okay, so for ChatGPT API, you will need to set up an account. Okay, and then you need to put some credit. It's not very expensive. everyone should try to do it. And then let's actually find out, the reference. Okay, so let's see. There are a lot of tutorials, and then it's not really too difficult. So what I'm gonna do is I'll try to look at the API reference first. And they have the OpenAI library and authentication, all of those. But we're just looking for ideally a Python API. Streaming here, audio, create a speech. All right, so this is the HTTP API. Here is the Python API. All right, and then making requests. And they're not showing how you do that with Python. And let's see here, Python libraries. Okay, I'm gonna go with Python libraries. All right. Yeah, I think this is a good page. So this is the official OpenAI Python GitHub page. So we're gonna start from here. Okay. I think the most important part is actually this part of code. Okay, so you import OpenAI, you get the key, and then you send your prompt. Okay, the content. This is the prompt, and then you get a response. Okay, so let's try this. For this application, I'm gonna still use Repli. Okay, so create a new Python program. I'll call this the ChatGPT API task scheduler. Okay, now let's actually get the code over. As I mentioned, this code is pretty straightforward. Okay, the only thing here is you need to get your API key. For this one, so I'm gonna go to my open account, so OpenAI API, and then just log in. And you will need to set up your like a credit card, everything to get this one working. And then once you have things set up, go to settings, or here API keys. Okay, so you can create a lot of keys. Obviously, you want to keep this one secure. I'm just going to create a new one. I'll call this CS4990. All right, here's the key. I'm going to copy this, and I will put it into the code here. All right. So this one, they actually use the environment variable. Okay, you can do that, or just simply, I just don't want to bother with that. I'll just copy the key here. After the demo, I probably would just delete the key. Okay, so that's pretty much a simpler way. Okay, so this is how you initialize the command. And here is how you send a message. Okay, so they give you a perfect example. We call the client.chat completions create, and you provide a role of this, for the system, and you provide the actual message. You choose which model you want to use. We're going to stick with 3.5 model since it's faster. And after that, you can print the results. Okay, let's try to run this and see what happens. It's going to get the libraries installed, get the dependency installed. All right, looks like everything is working, right? So, but we're not printing anything. Let's just do a print chat completion. Okay, so that's the basic response we're getting. Okay, let's just run this again. All right, very good. So chat completion, you have a lot of these different things. Okay, looks like it's kind of an object, and then you have ID, you have choices. Inside the choices, you have a lot of choice. The choice, you have a message. Message has a content. This is a test. And yeah, so let's actually try it. So let's say, oh, this one says, say this is task. So what is do a very quick thing. Okay, what is, please explain what is prompt engineering. Okay, let's try to run this again. All right, so they have this one here. Prompt engineering refers to the development design of prompts or clues that encourage specific behavior. Okay, anyway, so you can see the things are here. Now the question is, how are we gonna manipulate this thing? As I mentioned, this one is a object. So what you want to do is you do this one. We're gonna go to choices. Okay, That way, I think you're gonna grab this part. Let's try to run this. Oh, there's a spelling issue. Try this again. Okay, so this one, we are only getting the choice object, and choice object, you have it's a list, sorry. So we're gonna go only get the first one. And then we're looking at this thing called a message. Dot message. See this one. All right, so we're only getting this chat completion message object, and obviously the content is the thing we're looking for. Dot content. All right, so we're getting all the response back. Now it's only the text. Okay, so that's great. So that's basic shows you have everything set it up, and you can call the API. And now we're gonna try our own, our own prompts. Okay, let's actually try to carefully move the things from here, from this part here into our ChatGPT API. So we are going to get this whole thing first. Okay, so let's actually write. We call it, user prompt, or we call it scheduler prompt. All right, and if you do that, I think you can just get all the things over. Okay, so the same kind of prompt, and we'll put it here. It's a lot of stuff, and I need to finish certain tasks. All right, and then this is the list of the tasks. Let's just see if that works. Okay, so let's actually call the API. Oh, this one here, we need to change it. We need to change it to the scheduler prompt. Okay. I think this role is talking about, I think the role we provide to the ChatGPT. Okay, so let's ignore this one for now. Let's just see if we can get the results since we specified all the roles in the prompts already. Perfect. So let's see. Now this time we are actually getting the results. So in this case, they have, liquid. As you can see, the result actually is not exactly the same as we're getting from the actual terminal. Okay, so that's also something you should be careful because I'm sure the ChatGPT had different logic set up for the user customer-facing ChatGPT window and the developer. But this is actually very cool. They actually calculate all the things. Okay, so the schedule will look like the LeetCode practice, club meeting, and Math 101 mock interview, take online courses, and mobile development movie. Okay, but as you can see, this is actually not perfect. Okay, it's not perfect. Even though they did a lot of this, but obviously it's still really not actually helping with the things we're looking for. Okay, so to move forward, okay, I'm not gonna play on too much about this one. One thing sometimes worth to try is instead of using the 3.5 model, we can actually use the 4.0 model. Okay, let's actually see how we're changing this. I'm gonna change this one to ChatGPT 4, and let's just see how that works. If that actually helps. Okay. And then for the role, I also want to specify it. All right, so let me change the role first. See if that helps. Okay, but I don't think that's actually the case. So is this too long? Let me see. Oh, yeah, I think the role they're particularly looking at system, assistant, user, and function. Okay, so let's actually look at the document, what those mean, the roles. Okay. ChatGPT API, role explanation. Okay, so the page is frozen. Try this again. I'll use ChatGPT to do it. Okay. Voice, explore each role used in the ChatGPT API Python library. Sending the request. Maybe I should use ChatGPT 4 for this one. Okay. Role attribute used in sending request to ChatGPT API using Python. Okay, it is a persona. That's what I saw. So system intended for message that control configure the behavior model itself. Okay, so it's asking to send a command to the model rather than asking to generate a traditional response. User represent a role of a human user interacting with the model. Assistant to provide help, informative, relevant responses. Okay, I think that we're looking at assistant. All right. Okay, so let's try this. We're gonna do the assistance. See if that helps. And we're still using the 3.5 model. Okay, so they generate this again. And yeah, this time actually looks better, but it's still quite different. Okay, so they got two sessions, session one, session two, very good. And session one, session two, session one, session two. All right, so, but then this kind of a format, is not like, okay, so let's actually modify this one. Okay, so please make sure the total amount and this is above. Please also make sure to only generate the complete schedule with the time, duration, and the task to finish as a list. Let's see if that helps. All right, so this is, I think, a lot better. Okay, they got session one, but only session one. Are they actually giving us the next sessions? Oh no, they have two. Okay, mass one, mass two, mass one, and online course one, and they don't have other one. The movie, they're not splitting. The club meeting, they're not splitting. mobile dev 1, 2. That's actually good. So we're just missing an online course, right? Online course 25 plus 2. They don't have the second one. All right. Okay. And let's also try if I use GPT-4 to see if that will be any better. Okay, let's try to run this again. Normally, the GPT-4 will take a little bit longer. All right. Well, as you can see, looks like the GPT-4 is doing a better job, and then they just split out the whole thing. But they didn't also have the breaks. Okay, so anyway, so this is the part I'll leave to you guys to play around with it. Okay, so here's the list, and you got all the things. Okay, and then you can also, let's just make sure that just give one more highlight. Okay, please also include the break sessions in the schedule list as well. In general, the GPT-4 model response is a lot better than the 3.5. That's why I want to show you this one. If you had a similar case, you can compare the result from 3 and 4, but this is the part is where what we call as iteration. Okay, and then that definitely needs some time. That's also the value of your application, because if you figure out the perfect prompt to do the job, and then that's the value. Okay, so all right, so this one here, it has a followed by 5 minutes break. However, non-activities, yeah, but then they are actually not showing, they're not showing the break, even though they have the break time. Which is fun because you look at it here for 45, and this one here, you got a break, you kind of realize that. But yeah, again, you should be able to just keep modifying this and then get the the correct response you want. Okay, so I'm not going to play too much time here to get results. Okay, so and after this, we're going to move on to the building the actual backend.